Falling on your sword, fall on your sword. This is the bonus conversation. So riffing off of contribution, falling on your sword is being easy to contribute to. Like it's choosing not to bite the hands that are supporting you. You know, someone's offering you something in a coaching conversation, a transformational conversation, someone's offering you a perspective or an idea that you hadn't thought of, or you're just in some kind of situation where there's a little confrontation or friction, right? Falling on your sword is the opposite of having to have the last word. It's the opposite of, you know, they need to hear you. They need to say it a different way. They need to get your perspective first, right? It's like surrendering and letting go of all that, just falling on your sword for a minute to restore peace and order so you can actually hear what's going on in the person with you and no longer has anything to resist or fight against or push against. Falling on your sword is giving up the right to be right. So you might be correct about something, but you don't have to be right about it. You don't have to have this way of being called I'm right and you're wrong, right? So you could walk a little more softly in the world with a little more humbleness and humility and be prepared to fall on your sword and feel into and hear and see and think about what happens next, right? Falling on the sword is finding yourself in the dysfunction first, right? So, you know, you're hearing a transformational conversation, you're hearing a coaching conversation. And instead of like trying to work out how this does not apply to you, you're actually trying to work out how this does apply to you, like literally finding yourself in the dysfunction. And if you're in a coaching conversation, you know, you find yourself in the dysfunction before the coach does, right? Like you head, you know, you start moving head first into the breakthrough, right? Through the dysfunction, you know, from the head to the heart, through the emotions, through the feelings, right? And you go first. You go with vigor and and enthusiasm, right? Rather than kind of fighting and making the coach, you know, push and pull and do all the work, right? Falling on your sword is you're the one doing more work than the coach, right? So if you're a coach, you want to notice if the person you're attempting to work with is making you do all the work, in which case stop immediately, right? And give them the opportunity to fall on their sword so that we can actually get something accomplished. So falling on your sword is taking personal responsibility for your training and your ego and, you know, taking 100% responsibility for your reality. Oh, this feels wrong. It feels like I'm being dominated. Okay, great. That's a feeling. That's an experience. But falling on your sword is just letting go of that for a moment and see if it looks different, if it feels different when you're not fighting and resisting for something. You know, when there's a misunderstanding between two people, the quickest way through is to fall on your sword and understand the other person first, and so giving them an opportunity to understand you. So, yeah, falling on your sword has a letting go, sort of a surrender quality to it, right? And it's high level, and it's for people who actually want to get trained and be world class and really develop themselves in something. And the ego is always going to resist. So falling on your sword is really not allowing your ego to get in the way and gum up the works and, you know, cause resistance and pushback and stuff. It's just, you know, boom, okay, I'm open, I'm hearing you, I'm feeling you. And then, but you're not agreeing to anything, right? You still have your complete sovereignty, still have your opinion, and you're just falling on your sword so that you can hear what's going on around you. Thank you.